in the great city of Evermont, surrounded by glass towers, luxury cars, and endless ambition, lived a man people called the Poor Billionaire. His real name was Adrian Cole. To the world, Adrian was the picture of success. He owned one of the biggest tech companies in the nation. His idea had changed the digital world forever. And because of it, money flowed into his life like a river that would never run dry. Adrian had everything society said you needed to be happy. A private jet waiting at the airport, houses scattered across continents, a garage filled with cars most people would only see in magazines, and a bank account so large, he himself no longer knew the exact number. But behind all that wealth, behind the cameras, the applause, and the shiny trophies, was a truth that only he knew. A truth he hid behind expensive suits and empty smiles. A truth that whispered to him every night, "You have everything except the things that matter." Every morning, Adrian sat alone at a massive dining table meant for 12 people. Yet he was always the only one sitting there. No laughter, no warmth, just silence and expensive furniture. He scrolled through his phone absent-mindedly, seeing messages from people who wanted contracts, opportunities, money, something. Nobody ever asked how he was doing. Not really. Every night was the same. He returned to an empty penthouse, with a view so beautiful, yet a life so painfully quiet. Success had given him everything, and taken away just as much. One evening, Adrian received another award, Businessman of the Year. People clapped, cameras flashed, microphones surrounded him. But as he walked off the stage holding the golden trophy, the applause felt like noise, and the trophy felt heavier than ever. Inside the limousine that drove him home, Adrian stared at the trophy and whispered to himself, "Why does winning feel so much like losing?" The driver didn't hear him, and even if he did, he wouldn't understand. Money could buy attention, money could buy power, money could buy followers, but it could never buy something Adrian desperately wanted: genuine connection. Later that night, without telling anyone, not his staff, not his security team, not even his assistant, Adrian got into his car and drove away from city lights. Hours passed, and slowly, the tall buildings faded, replaced by quiet roads and peaceful countryside. He didn't know where he was going. He only knew why he was going. He was tired of being rich and feeling poor. Eventually, he arrived at a small, quiet town he hadn't seen in decades. Maple Ridge, the place where he grew up, before life pushed him towards greatness. In that quiet town was a small cafe. Nothing special, nothing fancy, just a cozy place with warm lights and the smell of fresh bread. Adrian walked in. No one recognized him. No one asked for selfies. No one cared about his billions. And behind the counter was a woman, simple, calm, and warm. Her name was Lena. She noticed the tired look in Adrian's eyes and asked gently, "Rough day?" For the first time in years, someone spoke to him not as a billionaire, but as a human. They talked, and they talked about dreams, about childhood memories, about the meaning of success. For once, Adrian wasn't performing. He wasn't pretending. He wasn't hiding. He was just Adrian. And Lena listened, not because of his money, not because of his fame, but because she cared. From that day, Adrian returned to Maple Ridge again and again. He drank tea in the cafe. He walked the quiet streets. He helped Lena close the shop at night. He laughed, a real, genuine laugh he hadn't felt in years. And every time he left the city, he realized something. He felt richer in that tiny cafe than he ever felt in his $1 million penthouse. But life has a way of revealing truths. One afternoon, a tourist recognized him. Before long, reporters flooded the town. Cameras flashed. People shouted questions. Adrian, who is this woman? Are you buying this cafe? Is this your secret project? Lena stood frozen. She had no idea who Adrian truly was. The town buzzed with curiosity. People whispered. Some stared. And Adrian felt the fear rising in his chest. The same fear he had lived with for years. The fear that once people knew who he was, they would only see money, not the man. When the crowd finally left, Lena looked at him, not with anger, not with disappointment, but with quiet sincerity. She said softly, "You should have told me." Adrian lowered his head. "I know. I didn't want you to treat me differently." Lena paused for a moment, then stepped closer. "Adrian, I don't care about your money. I care about the person who sits here every morning, just to talk, just to breathe." Her words hit him harder than any applause ever had, because for the first time, he felt seen. From that day on, Adrian didn't hide anymore. He began to use his wealth for something more meaningful. He rebuilt the schools in Maple Ridge. He repaired broken roads. He helped small businesses grow. He created opportunities not for profit, but for a purpose. Yet even with all that generosity, people in the town still called him the Poor Billionaire. Not because he lacked money, but because he refused to measure wealth by numbers or possessions, but by love, connection, peace, and the quiet joy of belonging. And in the end, Adrian Cole, a man who once had everything except happiness, discovered that true wealth isn't owned, it's lived. The richest life is not the one filled with things, but the one filled with people who truly care